scariest experience you've had? When I was around 13, me and my friend used to go on walks together at this local dog walking area. It was quite big and connected to woods, but was also in the middle of a bunch of homes which surrounded it. We used to walk around the trails there often and just talk and listen to music. There were certain places we didn't walk to in case we got lost and the signal wasn't great there. But this day we decided we were going to walk the extra mile following the trail. It was about a 20-minute walk and we ended up in a different named area, so decided to follow our steps back once we realized we were too far. It was around 9 now, pitch black outside, and being the quirky adventurous teens, we were decided to walk back throughout the entire woods. Of course we were on edge the entire time, using our phone flashlights and just making jokes to try and act like we weren't scared. We managed to trace our steps back, and so there was this long passage that led towards the road, so we could now see the road which was the entrance. We got to about halfway down the path towards the entrance now, when I stopped because I seen something in the distance. A tall, slender figure sprinting towards us, almost army marching with its arms and legs straight, and totally faceless. Bear in mind it was dark, but I froze in fear and my friend continued walking towards it. It was moving at a fast pace and was around 8 ft tall would be my guess. Now I was shouting at my friend, "What is that? We need to go right now," in an extremely panicked voice. At first he didn't see anything or believe me, but in the space of around 5 seconds, I seen him stop and turn around and start sprinting towards where we had came from. I remember screaming at him, "We have to go now," and the adrenaline kicked in now. We ran towards a bridge close to us, and then up a hill which had a gate onto a public path. For a brief second I remember as I jumped the gate, I turned around to see if it was still there. To my shock it was running even faster, which in my head made me realize that this was no joke. My friend stumbled over the gate cutting his hand, and we ran all the way to the shop in the town street. To this day there is no real explanation, as even if it was someone dressed up, why chase us in that location at that time, and the way they ran was so non-human-like. This was 5 years ago now, but safe to say the scariest thing that happened to me. Run, 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 and if you can't run then walk, and if you can't walk then crawl. But whatever you do, don't stop. It's only been an hour since everyone on earth, as far as I could tell, heard those same words. I was already walking through the park when I heard them, and after seeing what happens, I won't be stopping anytime soon. It's been 2 hours now. I've kept walking. I'm tired, but stopping is not an option. Some people try driving, but the act of getting in a car requires stopping, even for the briefest moment. And as those already driving when they heard the rules soon found out, it's impossible to move indefinitely in a vehicle, especially in a crowded city. Their screams kept me moving. It's been 4 hours now, and I'm exhausted, with the only thing pushing me forward being the fear of what awaits when I stop. And yes, I mean when, proven by plenty of those around me, eventually I'll have to stop. Some have just given up, accepting their fate only to immediately regret the decision. Some just couldn't take the screams anymore, and most simply don't see the point of continuing. And with every step, I'm starting to become more like the latter. It's been about 6 hours, and for the first time I saw what happens up close. I was walking aimlessly down an alley, trying to get away from the madness, when I saw a young man no more than 16 crying. He didn't even register at first to me until he made eye contact with me. He had stopped moving. His eyes were bloodshot, and not just whites around his pupils. I mean the entirety of his eyes were crimson red. Black tears streamed down his expressionless face, and then he smiled. A wide, toothy smile that would have screamed of joy if it wasn't followed by animalistic screams that would give the biggest horror fanatic nightmares. I wish I could say witnessing his dying moments was the most horrific thing to happen to me today, but then it hit me, the realization that I had stopped moving. Emergency alert. Do not look outside your windows. Emergency alert. Warning. This is not a test, I repeat. This is not a test. Citizens of the world, lock all doors. Close all of your blinds. Do not go near any windows. Do not look outside. Do not leave your house. Stay in a room with no windows. Gather what supplies you can. Turn all of the lights off. Do not open the door for anything. When I first heard it, it didn't even sound real. It sounded fake, like something in a horror movie. But it was an emergency, so I decided I probably should do what they tell me. I grabbed a flashlight, pillow, my phone, charger, food, and basic other stuff to keep me entertained while this stuff happened. I had no idea what was going on, but once I got into my bathroom and got comfy, I texted my parents asking them if they got the alert. They also did. They said citizens of the world. Did they actually broadcast that to world? I asked myself. So I texted an internet friend that lives across the world, and they said they got it too. Same exact message. And to be honest, it's kinda scary. They tell you what to do, but not what's going on, and people are scared of that. 20 minutes later, emergency alert. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. Unknown creatures have been knocking on people's doors and been killing people that open the door. There's 5 major hotspots: Washington, D.C., Tokyo, Toronto, Moscow, and London. They have been located all around, but it seems as if they are attacking those first. This is an invasion. Stay in your rooms. Do not open any doors. Do not look outside. They can kill you instantly with just a look. May God help us all. Emergency nuke sirens are going off. Tornado sirens are going off. What is going on? Is this a prank? How can an invasion be real? Are aliens real? How can I even comprehend that? I had car alarms going off. I hear things being destroyed. They are here. They are killing. It sounds like a war zone out there, but without any guns. What can the government do? Just shoot them. But they would die looking at them. There's no possible way we could ever survive this. We are going to die. I text my parents, but no answer. I text my brother and sister, no answer. I start to panic now. What if my family is gone? And all I can do is listen to other people's families get murdered. The nuke sirens have started again, and they are very loud, shaking my whole apartment. I wonder what the other people in my building are thinking. Probably like me, this is it. This is the end of the world. Everyone on this planet will die. I hear a knock on my door. I don't answer it. I hear someone screaming for me to open it. I mean, it sounded human. Should I open it? No, that would be stupid. Emergency alert. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. The extraterrestrials are attacking every major city in the world. There is a lot of them. We have not found out what they want. Stay inside. Millions, if not billions, are dead. Stay inside. It's as if the government have given up now. There's no way to fight, and these messages are less helpful each time they come on. If billions are dying, then I don't know how we can survive this. I mean, I have so far, but it doesn't sound like for long. I hear buildings being destroyed. I hear cars being destroyed. My building has been hit a few times. I'm hearing my world crumble before me. At this point, there's no reason to hope anymore. There's so many dying, and there is so much chaos, they will get everyone. I would love to know what one of these things looks like. But if I see them, I die. I hope someone takes a picture, and if we do survive, I want to see it. I want to see what's killing us. But the end is nowhere near, and I don't even know how many people we have left. Should I just kill myself? Maybe I should die before they get me. I don't want to die by those things. Plus, what if I do survive and get survivor's guilt? Then there's no way I. Emergency alert. This is not a test, I repeat. This is not a test. The extraterrestrials have left and left billions of people dead. If you are alive, please tap the button on your phone now. If on a radio, tune to 104 and state your name and city. We will update you in 20 minutes. There's no way I would want to live. That's what I was going to say. And yet, somehow, I'm actually alive. Do I want to die now? Well, no. But how many people are alive? What did these things want? Why did they attack us? There's too many questions to even ask right now. At this point, all we can do is try to figure out some numbers and restart society. How can a world like ours recover from something like this? How long until society is normal again? Will humanity ever be the same? I don't know. What I do know is that I could have lost everything. I will text my friends and family and come back with some numbers. Emergency alert. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. We have reported a little over 1 billion people accounted for. Not every country has the technology, so we will investigate those countries in the coming months. We do not understand what these creatures wanted, nor what they have taken. In the next month or two, we will be figuring out the next steps for humanity. May God help us all. Only 3 people I know survived: my sister, my uncle, and my best friend. Everyone else is dead. I want to kill myself. But at the same time, humanity needs me. We need each other to continue human life. Only time will tell what to do next. If there is anything next. Edit. It's 2 weeks later. The guilt is too much. I'm a fucking coward. Goodbye. Don't Google yourself horror story. Don't Google yourself. Why? Because you may not like what you find. One day, I was bored and decided to search for my own name on Google. I have quite a rare name, so I didn't expect to find many results. Imagine how surprised I was when I came across a website that had my full name in the domain www.myname.com. When I clicked the link, it brought me to a message board. I looked at the profile of the website owner and found out that the person was the same age as me and had the same hobbies and interests. There weren't any posts on the message board, but I was intrigued, so I saved it in my favorites. It was about a month later when I went back to the website. This time it had more content. There were some diary entries, mostly random things like "the weather was nice today" or "I'm so bored in work." Things of that nature. However, as time went on, I began to notice more and more coincidences. The person lived in the same city as I did. It struck me as rather strange that 2 people with the exact same rare name would be living in the same city at the same time. At one point, I noticed that the contents of the diary were quite similar to my own life. One day, I went to a baseball game, and when I checked the website that evening, I found that the owner of the site had gone to the same ball game. At first, I didn't think much of it. After all, tens of thousands of people in the city supported the same baseball team. It began to seem like much more than a simple coincidence. Whenever I checked the website, I would notice little biographical details that seemed too close for comfort. For example, the owner mentioned their pet dog, and the dog's name was the same as the dog I had when I was a child. The website owner posted a picture of their car. It was the same model of car I had been driving when I was in college. They talked about eating at a certain restaurant. It was the same restaurant I had gone to all the time when I was working at my previous job. One day, when I looked at the message board, people had written messages to the owner saying, "Happy birthday." That day, it was my birthday as well. I decided to write on the message board for the first time, just out of curiosity. I was going to wish the owner a happy birthday and tell them we had the same name. However, when I tried to write something, I realized that there was nowhere to type your message. It wasn't a message board at all, just a static page. That's odd, I thought to myself. In other words, whoever owned the website had gone to a lot of trouble to make it seem as if it was an interactive site, as if there were other people posting on it, when in actual fact, all the content must have been created by the owner. Why on earth would someone do that? I wondered. I decided to send an email to the owner. It read, "Hi there. Believe it or not, we both share the same name. Nice to meet you." It was just a friendly email. The next day, when I tried to look at the website, I discovered that it was gone. It seemed like it had been deleted. Then I opened my mailbox. There was one reply. When I looked at it, a chill ran down my spine. It just read, "Found you. He's never gonna hurt you again." I was my dad's only child. Being a daughter, you'd assume a father would be protective. I'd get beat regularly and much worse. When you're 6, you'll do what you have to in order to survive, because running away is not an option. I suppose I knew it was coming. It was Friday night, and once night had fallen, and it was only my mother and I, the dreaded routine of beatings and grasping at the straws of futility would only be a matter of time. "Go, Lily. Go sit in the closet and wait for me." My mother was a Cuban immigrant with nothing but courage flowing through her veins. Still, I never understood at the time what a restraining order was, nor why it could so easily be broken. When the rumbling engine rang out and potent exhaust fumes began to flow through the vents, I could only recoil, because evasion was my only defense. Predicting the level of his rage depended on the force of the car door slamming, so when it audibly shattered the driver's side window, I knew it was worse than ever. As a child, my anxiety would render me unable to move. A spider flash lit. I couldn't make split decisions. So when the door is kicked down and I hear, "Helena, Helena, you bitch, that door better be unlocked," I likely was staying put, even if running was the best choice. By this point, I dissociated from my body by focusing on 2 ants on the floor carrying piles of potato chip crumbs when the thud of my mother's body hit the kitchen floor. I could unwittingly escape the horrors inevitable to come by staring at a spot on the wall and imagining myself watching from the other side of the room to cope until it ended every single time. As for mother, this night, no words were uttered. She never got a chance. "Lily, baby, daddy's home. Come out and daddy won't be mad." Muscles tensed agonizingly tight, I was frozen once again. Tears streaming down my cheeks, I'd learned to cry silently. The stumbling, uneven footsteps on the first floor told me he was more inebriated than usual, and also it told me that Mom was really hurt. Usually she'd fight him with every fiber of her being on his way to the staircase, despite it always resulting in bloodshed. And then, 1, 2, 3, the footsteps creaked up the steps. "Lily, here I come. Better be special for me tonight. Be a good girl and come out." Mom always instructed me to hide in different places, but never thought to tell me to just leave. The internal force of my inability to react and the external evil of my impending death had me feeling acceptance. At only 6 years old, I was already prepared to die, and die horribly. 4 or 5 almost up the steps. I'm a spider under a flashlight, wanting so terribly to make the decision to run to the bathroom and hide behind the curtain, but too frightened to act on it. "Mommy, if ghosts exist, then please do something." Then that inevitable cracking of the broken top step. He's here. Dad was at the top of the steps. The bathroom, the shower curtain. Hide in plain sight. Do it, Lily. It's your only chance. The first place he'll look is the closet. I was screaming inside. Then I heard the bathroom door slowly creak open, steps moving inside, and the shower curtain, metal against metal, he'd ripped it off the hinges. No Lily there. Where could she be? Where did Mommy hide you this time? Sweating, heart racing, fingers running up and down the delicate skin of my belly, and brush over the soft skin of my arms, over top of the already existing scars. How much worse will it get? How much more blood would I lose once again? Dad was just outside the bedroom, and then the footsteps halted right outside the door. By the sound of the metal against the hollow door, I knew tonight he had a bat. Broke my legs with it once. I began to grip and pull at my clothes, and then I couldn't stop it. I began crying profusely, and in an effort to hopefully live, even if it meant disfigurement, I stood up and got ready to step out into the shadow of the 6-foot-tall, brooding figure bearing down on me, ready to take the whipping, beating, or worse, that thing which would awaken me in sweat from my nightly terrors. If baby girls in the closet come out, Come out wherever you are. I'd accepted my fate, and then a dull, loud tack noise and vibration of the floor from a loud slam. Dad was so drunk, he'd fallen over. Maybe now I could run, but I couldn't get my legs to move. And then the visual of my mom's bloody corpse flashed in my mind, and miraculously, something imperceptible caused me to jump up and run. I pushed out of the closet and ran to the door, prepared to jump over Dad's hopefully unconscious body and leave out the back door. And as I approached the door, I was stopped in my tracks. Standing in the hallway was my mother, unharmed and untouched, and at her feet, Dad's lifeless body with an axe in his back. I gazed up at my mother with watery eyes in wonder and astonishment, and when her eyes met mine, she said the sweetest thing to ever fall upon my ears. Mama found a good hiding spot, baby. Daddy's never gonna hurt you again.